Understanding Cancer men. Who does not love Cancerians? The truth is that the natives of this sign, especially the men, stand out for their way of being sensitive, perceptive, and loving. But Cancerians are much more than that. Here I do dare to say that they are one of the deepest signs of the zodiac, very faithful to their water element. Not only do they have this emotional side that makes even the hardest signs reach tears, but they also have dark sides, secrets, things they detest, and countless other characteristics that make them simply unique. Cancer is that typical friend you can turn to when you want to tell that story, in which you will look tremendously vulnerable, knowing that he will not judge you or correct you and will simply limit himself to validating your emotion. That is why we love them so much, in addition to the fact that they strongly empathize with the maternal energy of this sign, always giving them an attitude of care and protection. We love this sign, but it is never too much to know it more deeply, to also see its shadow aspects and finally be able to say that we truly understand them. Join me on this journey of knowing the emotional depths of this beloved sign. Traits of Cancer men. To begin with, we will start by describing their most marked characteristics, those that almost no one can ignore because they represent the main essence of the sign. And this is not all rosy. Let's get to know them. Emotional. This is interesting because it can be classified as both a positive and a negative quality. The truth is that Cancer is one of the most emotional signs of the zodiac. It is one of their superpowers because they do not deny their emotions and allow themselves to experience them in body and soul. But sometimes they become too emotional, which makes them very fragile. Sensitive. This is another well-marked trait of the natives of this sign. You must be careful with what you say and how you say it because at the moment you least expect it, you could be hurting their feelings without even realizing it. That is why it is recommended to be more careful than usual. Maternal. Regardless of whether they are men or women, people of this sign adopt a very maternal attitude. What does this mean? That in the group of friends, they are probably the one who asks if everyone has eaten, if they have enough warm clothes, or how they are feeling. This role makes them one of the most loved. Emotionally closed. Although we already mentioned that this is a tremendously emotional sign, sometimes they feel so much that they must repress some things because otherwise they believe they bother others. For this reason, they sometimes repress emotions, which leads them to put themselves in a somewhat depressive state. Likes and dislikes of Cancer men. To continue, let us explore what the likes and dislikes of this sign are in order to understand where their deep emotionality and innate loving nature come from. Cancer men loves when people allow themselves to be cared for, being at home, making their home a safe space, expressing their love languages, when they feel they can express their emotions freely, watching the moon, which is their ruler, calm and relaxed situations. Cancer men hate very aggressive or difficult people, messy houses, or places with an energy that does not feel like home. Violence. Being in a hurry. When they are pressured too much, they shut down. When things become too mental and there is no room for emotion. Having to leave their comfort zone. Strengths of Cancer men. They have great emotional empathy to listen to others. When a Cancerian listens, they do not do it with the mind, but with the heart. You can rest assured that they will not judge you or look for quick solutions. They will simply take the moment to validate your emotion and help you go through it. Everyone can feel comfortable with their energy, since they are never trying to compare themselves or be better than anyone else. They have no difficulty identifying emotions. In fact, recognizing them is their greatest strength. Weaknesses of Cancer men. Sometimes their extreme sensitivity can work against them, in moments when it is necessary to be a bit tougher to reach a certain goal. The fact of being so emotional sometimes throws them into a semi-depressive state, from which it is difficult to take them out. That is why diversity in groups of friends is so valuable, with a Cancerian who listens in difficult moments and another sign who brings joy. They are often very shy, and although they have a natural ability to hold authority on topics they study or work on, it is not so easy for them to express that knowledge. Their dark side and secrets. This is one of the signs that has the strongest hidden areas. Being so emotional, there are many things they do not talk about, but that they certainly go through. One of those dark sides is that they often feel a lot of envy. You might say, envy of what, if they are so sweet? That is true, but they feel envy for everything they wish to be, but cannot. They envy the ability to show themselves in public without shame, to express everything they say, to speak without filters, like other signs you know who I mean, or to achieve certain things that their extreme shyness sometimes prevents them from. Another one of their darker traits involves a certain attachment. As we already mentioned earlier, they tend to put themselves in a very maternal role. This makes them literally think they must protect people, and they generally express it in a possessive way. An example would be a Cancerian friend you love very much, but at the moment you start a romantic relationship, he begins to treat you badly. They do not do it out of evil. It is their way of managing that feeling of jealousy and the fact of understanding that you do not belong to them. And finally, another one of their dark or secret sides is that when they want to, they can be really hurtful. With this dynamic where you feel that it is easy to express yourself with them, you do not realize it, and you open the book of your life completely. This can cost you something expensive if at some point you fight, because in addition to being great listeners, they have an impressive memory. How they handle different areas of life. Family. In the family, it is one of the most important pillars. In fact, for Cancer, the family is almost their most precious treasure. Everything they do in their life, they do so that their family is well and always thinking of them. Work. At work, they are very loved by everyone. Something very typical of this sign is finding a job they like and being capable of staying in that same place working their whole life because, again, they are very family-oriented. Personal goals. As for their personal goals, they are very dedicated and active. However, sometimes their emotions work against them, making things take a little longer to materialize. Romantic relationships of Cancer men. In romantic relationships, you may have found a gold mine if you have fallen in love with a Cancerian. In love, they are sweet, affectionate, attentive, and have much love to give. The typical Cancerian is the one who, after only a few months of dating, insists on meeting your family and wants to take you to meet his. As we mentioned earlier, this is their way of showing love. Although, as we have also seen in their dark side, one of the things that sometimes stand out are their overly attached traits. When this happens, the best way for Cancer to resolve it is by talking about their emotions. By finding common ground, they can understand each other. The good thing is that Cancerian men have a great sense of respect for women and will never dare to mistreat you. Bonus. Spicy fact to know him fully. To be able to say that you truly know a Cancer, they must have already dragged you into an emotional catharsis. It is very typical in this sign that when they express their emotions, they do it in a somewhat chaotic way. If you have already gone through one of those situations where you had to calm down that flood of feelings, congratulations. You truly know Cancerians. Thank you for watching the video and let us know your thoughts in comments box below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to get all the updates.